Hey there, Janae with Palin Projects here, and in this video I'm going to be planting up my seeds. So you're probably going to see this intro a couple different times. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I also want to break this into multiple different videos for you guys in order to provide you with the most amount of detail in the shortest amount of time. So you don't have to go searching through a big long video to find the plant that you're looking for or the plants that you're looking for. So again, I'll probably play this multiple times and then I'll get into the specific plants that I will be planting from seed today. A couple things that are probably going to be similar across the board. Not probably, they will be similar across the board. I am using a potting mix today. I don't typically use a seed starting mix. One, it doesn't provide a lot of nutrients, so I find myself supplementing with fertilizer. Nothing wrong with that. It's just an extra step later on, and I get just as good germination rate out of potting mix as I do seed starting mix. The other thing is I will be using seed starting trays. So I have a whole bunch of trays cleaned, and then I have like 6-packs or the seed starting plugs that you can buy from any garden center or department store. I'll be starting some plants in those, and then I'm going to be trying a soil blocker today as well. I think this is a 1.5 inch, maybe a 2 inch, it's a 2 inch soil blocker. There are 4 spaces in it, so it will fit perfectly into a tray, and so I will just block all the way down, and then I may make like 2 blocks and split the blocks out among the length of this, because I could technically get 5 blocks, I think, into a seed starting tray, but I want to leave a little bit of room in order to water the plants and make sure that everything gets watered nicely in these trays. So I'll be giving a review on this soil blocker and seeing if I like it or if I'll just stick to the plugs. We'll see after this year. The other thing that I will be using today are a Sharpie marker to write down the type of seed and what vegetable it is. So I'll do like, like Copenhagen cabbage. So it's the type of cabbage and then the actual, like, it's a cabbage. Yeah, I'll be doing that as well, just so that I don't have to go back and reference my seed packets to know whether it's a tomato, cabbage, pepper, you know, that kind, because I mean, they're pretty fun names, and you wouldn't necessarily know the name or what vegetable it is from the name. The other thing I'm going to be using today are these markers, or these plant tags. I'm just going to write the name on the plant tag. I have, I think, 100. I have 100 tags here today. I hope it's enough. I'm going to be starting 9 seed trays, hopefully, this evening. I have flowers, I have vegetables, just the gamut of items that I want to start. So if I don't finish tonight, then I'll go into tomorrow. I am using Pro Mix. Oh, sorry, Maverick, for scaring you. It comes in a bag like this. I call it a bale. It's compressed potting mix. That's just what I'm using today. I've used a variety of different potting mixes. I do have my Rubbermaid tub, so if you've watched me do my seed starting videos before, or any like potting videos, I typically have like a Rubbermaid box, and then I throw all of my potting mix in there, and then I throw a couple pitchers full of water in there to moisten that, pre-moisten that potting mix. I moisten it to the point, let me grab a handful here, where like I can form it and it stays, if you can see that. So it stays in that clump, it doesn't fall apart. Like, there is a little bit of falling apart, but a little bit, I think that's just because my hand's not big enough, a little bit of potting mix that came off. But for the most part, it stays formed. It's not like dripping wet, but it's well moisturized, I guess is the word for it. The other thing I have is a trowel. This is nothing fancy. I think it's from the Dollar Tree, to be honest. And then if I want to, I have my gloves as well. This potting mix doesn't seem to be woody. I don't know if you guys get this, but with some potting mixes, I get like slivers. I'm not getting that from this Pro Mix. So I probably won't use gloves today just because I work a little bit better without gloves as well. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I do have covers or plastic domes to put over these to keep the humidity in for germination. So I'll put those over these trays when I'm done. I don't have one sitting here to show you, but I'll show you when I go and place them. And yeah, I think that's it for kind of likeness throughout this seed starting series of videos. So let me get into some varieties. Quick, brief overview. The vegetables I'm gonna start today are peppers, tomatoes, herbs, broccoli. I don't think I have any Brussels sprouts. Honestly, Brussels sprouts didn't do too good for me last year. So I might save the space from the Brussels sprouts and plant more broccoli, cabbage, and artichokes, which I don't know if these need to be, yeah, no, okay. They don't need to be cold stratified, so we're good. So these are all of the like high level varieties that I'm going to be planting today. I'll go into detail of each individual type that I will be planting in kind of a rough estimate of how many of each I will be planting as well. Tomatoes, I think I'm growing a little over 20 varieties this year. We can count them and subtotal at the end if you really want to know how many varieties I'm growing. I just know it's about 3 trays worth of seeds, and I'm growing roughly between 4 and 8 plants per type of tomato. So one very special tomato that I'm growing this year, I am debating on whether or not I should share plants. I probably will, but I don't have that many because I could only get my hands on 5 seeds this year. But it's the giant crimson tomato. So it is, it has approximately an 85-day maturity rate. It's an indeterminate with an average size about 8 to 10 ounces for its tomatoes. Excuse me. I have watched Luke from MI Gardener basically bring this variety back, and I am ecstatic to be growing it myself this year. Like I said, I was only able to get my hand on about 5 seeds this year, but I do plan on saving my own seed for use next year so I can, you know, give those away to friends and family. But I probably, for the majority of the plants, I might give like 1 or 2 away, but for the majority of the plants, I want to keep just to try and save some seed for next year. So that's exciting. If you don't know about the giant crimson tomato, feel free, I'll try and link Luke's videos down below. It's a pretty cool story. It intrigued me enough to want to buy these seeds. So yeah, give those videos a watch if you want to learn more about the giant crimson. And I will take you along. I want to do kind of a special video for this tomato this year just because it is such a unique variety and has basically been extinct for umpteen years. I mean, it's been extinct for a very long time. So I'm excited to start these and be one of the first to try its fruit in a very, very long time. So that's the giant crimson, kind of my most special tomato plant that I'm growing this year. I'm growing the red cherries. It's just a large red cherry. My parents mentioned that they really liked this taste last year and said that the cherries got to about this big. It's just a large fruited red cherry cocktail snack, 70 to 75 days till harvest. Delicious, sweet, bite-sized tomatoes can be used in salads served on toothpicks as appetizers. Tall, indeterminate vines provide bountiful harvest all season, high in vitamin A and C. Like I said, my parents loved these. I wasn't going to actually start these this year because I have so many tomatoes. But the last time they were here, they mentioned that they absolutely loved them. So I will be starting these tomatoes. And this is just from a department store, so a box store. Yeah, nothing special about them, but like I said, my family absolutely loves them. Another unique variety, these next 2 are from Baker Creek. And it's not necessarily, I mean, it's more of a tomatillo, but I'm growing Aunt Molly's ground cherries. So these are a Polish heirloom variety. It has unusual fine flavor, very sweet with a nice hint of tartness, and an excellent choice for pies and preserves. I have never ate a ground cherry, so I thought this would be a very unique variety to try, and just something fun to try in my garden and see if I can get to grow, and see if I like the taste of it. So the seeds are very small. I didn't think they were going to be that small, but they're very tiny, so I have plenty of seeds. It doesn't say, it's full sun, planting space is 16 inches apart. And that's about all it says for ground cherries. So, the next Baker Creek is a white tomasol. This, and why I kind of wanted to break this out from the rest, this was a gift from last year from a friend, a dear friend, and so I wanted to try these this year and see how they go. She said that they were delightful last year, so I'm excited to try these and see how the white tomatoes go. This is an 80-day variety and an amazing heirloom, just bursting with fragrance and natural goodness. Creamy smooth, half-pound fruit, excellent yields. It's not frost, none of these are frost hardy, and plant spacing is 24 inches apart. The rest, oh no, I have one more variety that is kind of special. If I can find a picture, I'll put it up. But these are Sun Sugar Yellow Cherry tomatoes. I don't have a lot of information on them other than I have another friend, a different friend, who these are like the only tomato that they grow, and I said that I would start seeds this year because they had such a hard time finding plants last year. So they saved me seeds that, like I said, it's the only plant that they grow, and they are they have quite a bit of distance from their neighbors. So I wasn't terribly afraid of cross-pollination, but they brought me in seeds, I saved them, and when I was saving them or prepping them to be saved, they got thrown out. Not sure how, but they were thrown out. So I went and found seeds online, and I'm going to try and start, you know, a couple plants for them and then a couple plants for myself, because then I want to save seeds for myself for next year, and for them if they still want to grow the sun sugar. I did get those seeds off of Etsy, so we'll see if they are the true plant or the true seeds. It can be a little nerve-wracking getting seeds on Etsy, but I did look at the reviews for this seller, and the reviews were very positive, and you know, it sounded like for the most part individuals got what they were asking. So I am going to start those seeds for a friend as well, so they'll get the majority of those plants. The rest of my tomatoes come from M.I. Gardener. So if you don't know, M.I. Gardener is a relatively cheap way to buy seeds, heirloom seeds. Their seed packets, I believe, are $2 now, but you can get a discount. Usually there's like a 10% discount or something going on, so that's exciting. They do free shipping on orders, I believe, above $12, and then they are doing a promotion where they're giving away a seed packet. So on my last order, I did get free seeds, which is always exciting. And they don't tell you what you're getting until the package arrives and you have the seeds. And they come in a little special envelope, and then they label it, which is cool. But that's where the majority of my tomatoes are coming from this year. Triple L crop. This variety, again, was a recommendation. It's an indeterminate and insanely productive tomato variety that produces clusters of 3 to 5 tomatoes, each weighing in at 12 to 16 ounces. It's grown as a greenhouse tomato traditionally, and also has success outdoors. Trellising is required. They're deep red, juicy, small-seeded, and blemish-free with a perfect balance of acidity and sweetness. Days till maturity is 80 to 90. Gold medal. It's an indeterminate, known for being one of the sweetest tomatoes on the market. This bicolored wonder is bursting with tangy, sweet, fruity flavor, delicious on sandwiches, salads, and adds the perfect hint of sweetness to salsas. 75 to 90 days for maturity. Amana. It's an indeterminate. It's an Iowa heirloom and is a perfect variety to add color to any salad or sandwich. Sweet, tangy flavors mimic pineapple without the acidity. Bright, lively in flavor with fruits up to 2 pounds each. Delicious addition to salsa, sandwiches, or salads. 75 to 80 days maturity. I've heard this one pronounced a couple different ways. Dr. White Cheese, Dr. Witchies. Do with it what you please. But indeterminate, this tomato has a long-standing heirloom favorite for not only the name, but the flavor. This tomato is low acid, rich in flavor, and is a stunning meaty beefsteak variety developed by a circus owner and doctor. It was an immediate hit because of the deep, tangy colored fruits that were unimaginably large. A delicious all-purpose variety. 75 to 85 days till maturity. Abe Lincoln. It's an indeterminate. This tomato was cultivated in the 1920s by a farmer from Abe's home state of Illinois. He wanted gardeners to know they were getting an honest producer with great flavor, one that was reliable to produce all season long. This is a classic variety with good acidity and regular tomato leaves, making it the perfect slicer tomato. Plants will produce normal amounts of fruit, but will overcompensate in the quality of taste. These are amazing in tomato sauce, soup, paste, or homemade ketchup. 80 to 90 days till maturity. Brandywine Black. Indeterminate, 1920s variety, has a wonderful true tomato flavor that is earthy, sweet at the same time. Deep maroon in color with fruits that grow up to 1 pound each. You can easily use this tomato for buns to make a sandwich. This is perfect for salsas, sauces, and cooking. Heavy yields on vigorous vines will require support for an ideal harvest. 80 to 90 days until maturity. Black Crim Tomato, indeterminate. This beefsteak variety tomato produces burgundy purple fruits with a rust red bottom that transitions to a deep burgundy top. The fruit has very few seeds and weighs in an average of 1 pound. Sweet, smoky, and low acid in flavor, originally crossed with a beefsteak and a Cherokee purple. 80 days till maturity. And I do think, hold on, there we go. Cherokee purple. Indeterminate, it's a Tennessee heirloom believed to have been passed down by Native Americans of the Cherokee tribe. This plant is open pollinated, indeterminate, bearing 8-ounce flattened globe fruits that are dark reddish purple to black in color. It is a meaty tomato with a bold flavor. 75 days till maturity. Black Cherry. Indeterminate and unbelievably sweet tomato with low acidity. The tomatoes are on average 1 ounce and can be expected to yield several pounds per plant. A deep, dark burgundy purple color with a unique flavor. Vines are vigorous, so we recommend using a tall cage to support them. 70 days till maturity. Blueberries. I thought the name was just fun, so I'm gonna try these. Indeterminate, a dark bicolored purple and red variety with a rich, sweet flavor. This purple-leafed tomato plant will add a unique touch to the garden. Disease-resistant and can grow up to 6 feet tall. Perfect for fresh eating salsas and salads. 60 to 70 days till maturity. Tigerella. The Tigerella tomato is an English heirloom that grows tangy, bite-sized fruit that are red with orange stripes. Perfectly round fruits with 2-inch in diameter. Enjoy this variety off the vine or thrown into your favorite salad. Expect large yields. It is the most cold hardy than other varieties and thrives in humid summers. Disease resistant and grows well in a greenhouse. 55 to 65 days till maturity. I've had these, they're delicious and sweet. I might try growing these if we can get the glass greenhouse up. I might try growing these in the glass greenhouse though. Yellow pear tomato. It's an indeterminate, prolific producing yellow cherry tomato in the shape of a pear. It truly is an adorable heirloom that we have as a favorite here for its production, flavor, and its ability to outgrow most everything in the garden. Tolerant to powdery mildew and blossom and rot. 75 days to maturity. I love yellow pear tomatoes. I think they're a great snack in the garden. I could ruin dinner on those tomatoes. Purple bumblebee. It's an indeterminate, a unique purple cherry variety with green marbling. Heavy yields will produce all season long on short vines. Crack resistant with fruits of 1 to 5 inches around. The high acidity of this variety makes for a tangy, less sweet flavor ideal for fresh eating on salads or sandwiches. Roma tomatoes, determinate. This classic tomato is grown for its massive yields, strong growing habits, and disease resistant. Flavorful plum-shaped 2 to 3 ounce fruits. The Roma tomato can be used in paste, spaghetti sauces, salsa, salads, and fresh eating. This variety is verticillium, wilt resistant, and Fusarium wilt resistant, drought tolerant, and a must-have, ideal for canning. So I'm planning on using this for canning and making pastes and such. This is 65 days till maturity, and like I said, I'm planning on using this mostly for canning, not necessarily fresh eating, but canning. Black from Tula. Indeterminate, this tomato is deep burgundy green in color with a flattened globe shape. Grown for slicing for its low acidity and sweetness. Yields tomatoes that can weigh up to 1 pound each. Ideally for juicing or canning. In hotter climates, this variety can have a slightly smoky flavor. Steak for best airflow. So this one might be, it's a 75 days till maturity. This one might be another one that I try growing in the greenhouse. Last but not least is the watermelon beefsteak. It's an indeterminate. If the pink and red flesh doesn't remind you of a big juicy watermelon, the size will. Producing fruits weighing in between 1 and 2 pounds can give you a meal for the whole family. This heirloom variety dates back all the way to the 1800s. This large beefsteak variety has a slightly fluted appearance. You just can't beat the flavor on this beauty. 75 days to maturity. So I am, why I'm growing so many this year, tomato varieties, I want to kind of hone in the varieties that I like the best and my family likes the best, and then grow a bunch of those varieties. So I am growing quite the plethora of tomatoes this year, and then we'll whittle it down to probably a handful in the next couple of years, just to kind of stick with and grow. The other reason why I'm growing so many, because I did do between 4 and 8 plants each, is because I want to do a lot of canning of sauces, salsas, like stewed tomatoes, canned tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato juice, stuff like that. So I need quite a few plants to be able to do that. So we'll see what we can grow this year and what we can preserve for the wintertime. When I was describing or reading the back of the plant, I made a point to mention whether or not these were indeterminate or determinate. If they're indeterminate, I will be pruning them. It means that they have an undetermined or basically an infinite amount of ability to grow fruit. So they'll just keep growing up and up and up and keep flowering. So I will be pruning those to 1 stem. And then, you know, taking the suckers and stuff off. I think the only determinate tomato so far, I might pick up something else at a local nursery. Probably not, but the only determinate I believe that I am growing this year are the Romas, and I won't be pruning on those at all. The determinate basically means that they have like a determinate or like a finite amount of blooms that they can grow. So you don't want to be pruning off any blooms or stems or anything like that. Just let them grow to their max ability. And typically they don't require staking, but I think I'm going to I'll probably stake these. It does say that these are container friendly because they are determinate. So I might stick them into a container instead of out in the garden. I don't know, we'll see. But that's pretty much the difference between an indeterminate and a determinate. If you have a small place, like if you're porch gardening or something like that, I might recommend more of a determinate variety for you. Along with like if you're a newer gardener, a determinate tomato is pretty easy to grow. You stick it in the ground and you don't have to do any pruning or any maintenance on it. Just pick the fruit, eat it, and you're good. So that's why I was making sure to tell you if they were an indeterminate variety or a determinate variety though. So if you have any questions, please leave them below, and we will see you in the next seed starting video. Thanks guys, bye.